Okay, when we left off on that last video for input masks, we were in student design view and we had applied an input mask to the home phone field, as you can see here, and then on the mobile phone field we had just left off there. So I would just turn right around and apply that same input mask to that one, and since I know I'm going to accept all the defaults, I'll just finish. I'm not even going to go through the wizard. So that's a very quick, easy way to apply an input mask to a phone field. And again, every time you make a change like that, it's going to force you to save before you can see the datasheet view. All right, the next thing, and this is item number 2 under input masks, on the student ID field, if you'll take a look, you'll see that every student ID in this particular setup is set up in a manner where it has 3 characters followed by 4 numbers. Now, in this particular example, it looks like what they're doing is they're pulling the first 3 letters from the last name and then applying a numeric entry after that. We will maybe do a form later on to show exactly how to automatically create that student ID based on the entry that a person puts in the last name field. But for right now, we'll just do a very quick, easy custom input mask that will require the entry to be 3 characters, 3 letters, followed by 4 digits. And that's easy to do as well, and it gives you the opportunity to look at how to create an input mask from scratch. And so on the student ID field here, again, if I want to apply an input mask, if I click here and I run that wizard like this, you'll see obviously that something like that is not a real common setup, so it's custom. So there's no good choice for the wizard. Okay, so you obviously can't do it that way. So then the next question is well, then how do I go ahead and do that? And to see the full list of syntax that you can use to create an input mask, just click anywhere in the input mask field and press F1. And so I pressed F1 on my keyboard, and here in a second what's going to happen is it's going to pull up a access help for specifically for input masks. At least I hope so. All right, so here it comes. Now here's my input. Here's my help for input masks, and again, I'm on student ID. I want to make sure I'm on the right spot here. And then, okay, now here if you look at combo box input mask property text box input mask, and this is a text field, so we'll go ahead and click on that. And then if you expand this, you'll see my screen is really small, but hopefully on your computer you'll be able to see, but it shows you all the different characters and what they mean. And so you can get very, very specific about how you structure an input mask. And down here it gives you some examples. And of course, if all else fails, you can always Google that. But in our example here, what we want to do is force 3 uppercase letters followed by 4 numbers. And so I'll use the greater than symbol to indicate uppercase, and then L, 3 of those, and then followed by 4 zeros, like that. So what we're doing here is we're saying, all right, the student ID field is always going to be structured in this manner. So if a person tries to, let's go ahead and test it. We'll go ahead and save this and switch out here to this view. So this is APP 7509. So if I was going to remove that and try to type in a number instead of a letter, that's what I'm getting, an error. So I'll type in, and I have my caps off. So caps lock is off, and I'll type APP, and it's coming in uppercase because of that greater than symbol. And then I'll type in 7509, and so that enters it in for you. Okay, so that's just what an input mask does. Just like it does the phone number over here, it gives you a pattern to follow. Over here it does the same thing. So it's just a matter of how much control you want to have for certain fields. And when you want to ensure that the user enters the data in such a manner, input masks are quite valuable. It's good to do them in the table because every form that you build from the table will inherit those properties. But you'll see later on when we do a form that you'll have an opportunity to kind of override that.